Hi everyone, glad to see you again. Today we have something informative lined up for you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And for more tech insights, stay safe online, cyber network. Picture this. You're trying to buy concert tickets online. You're hyped. You refresh the page 1,000,000 times. Then bam, the website crashes. It's happened to all of us. But what if it wasn't an accident? What if someone intentionally overloaded the website with traffic? That, my friends, is a DDoS attack. DDoS stands for Distributed Denial of Service. It's basically the digital equivalent of blocking the entrance to a store with a mob of people. Nobody can get in, nobody can shop. The website or network is effectively shut down. These attacks are more common than you think. They target businesses, governments, even individuals, and they can have serious consequences. Financial losses, reputational damage, even disruption of essential services. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into the world of DDoS attacks. By the end of this, you'll be able to spot one a mile away, and maybe even understand why your internet is so slow sometimes. Imagine a single-lane road leading to a concert venue. Now picture thousands of cars trying to squeeze through that one lane all at once. Chaos, right? That's what a DDoS attack does to a server. It floods it with so much traffic that it can't handle it. These attacks use botnets, which are networks of infected computers controlled by hackers. These botnets act like an army of digital zombies, all following the hacker's orders. When the hacker gives the signal, the botnet unleashes a torrent of requests to the target server. These requests can be anything from simple page loads to complex data queries. The server, overwhelmed by this sudden influx, struggles to keep up. Like a car engine sputtering under too much pressure, the server's performance degrades. Website loading times become unbearably slow, eventually grinding to a halt. Users are met with error messages, unable to access the services they need. It's like holding a fire hose to a drinking fountain. The fountain just can't handle that much water. And just like that, the target is effectively knocked offline. DDoS attacks aren't one size fits all. There are many ways to cripple a network, each with varying levels of sophistication and impact. Let's explore some of the most common methods employed by these digital hooligans. First up, we have the classic SYN flood. This attack exploits the way servers establish connections with clients. Imagine a server as a polite host, always ready to shake hands, establish a connection, with a visitor, client. The SYN flood sends a barrage of handshake requests but never completes the handshake, leaving the server with a handful of nothing. This ties up the server's resources, making it unavailable for legitimate users. Next, we have the HTTP flood, which is like sending 1,000,000 pizzas to someone who only ordered one. This attack bombards the target with a massive number of HTTP requests, overwhelming the server's capacity to process them. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose. You'll drown before you quench your thirst. Then there's the DNS amplification attack, which is like using a megaphone to amplify your voice. Except instead of your voice, it amplifies junk data. This attack exploits vulnerabilities in the domain name system, DNS, to flood the target with amplified traffic, making it impossible for legitimate traffic to get through. These are just a few examples of the many ways attackers can launch a DDoS attack. Understanding these methods is crucial to developing effective defenses and mitigating the risks posed by these digital assaults. Now that we know how DDoS attacks work, let's look at the tools these digital delinquents use to wreak havoc. Think of it as peeking into the toolbox of a digital vandal. Don't worry, we won't be providing a how-to guide, just a glimpse into their arsenal. One of the most popular tools is low-orbit ion cannon, or LOIC for short. Catchy name, right? This easily accessible software allows even novice attackers to launch basic DDoS attacks. It's like giving a toddler a drum set. They might not know what they're doing, but they can still make a lot of noise. For the more professional cybercriminal, there's HOIC, which stands for High Orbit Ion Cannon. This tool is like LOIC's bigger, badder brother, capable of launching more sophisticated and larger-scale attacks. Then we have Slow Loris, a tool that takes a more subtle approach. Instead of overwhelming the target with sheer volume, Slow Loris slowly consumes the target's resources by opening multiple connections and keeping them alive for as long as possible. It's like having someone call you repeatedly and keep the line open, preventing you from receiving other calls. These are just a few examples of the tools used in DDoS attacks. The availability of these tools, often disguised as legitimate software, makes it easier for individuals with minimal technical skills to launch these attacks. Section 5. History's headlines. Notable DDoS attacks. DDoS attacks aren't a new phenomenon. They've been around for decades, evolving in scale and sophistication. Let's take a trip down memory lane and revisit some of the most notable DDoS attacks in history. In 2001, the website of Microsoft, yes, Microsoft, was brought down by a massive DDoS attack. The attack, which lasted for several hours, disrupted access to popular services like Hotmail and MSN Messenger. It was a wake-up call for the tech giant and the world, highlighting the growing threat of DDoS attacks. Fast forward to 2016, and we have the Mirai botnet attack, which targeted Diem, a company that provides DNS services. This attack caused widespread internet outages across the United States and Europe, affecting major websites like Twitter, Netflix, and Reddit. The scale and impact of the Mirai attack demonstrated the vulnerability of critical internet infrastructure to DDoS attacks. These are just a few examples of the many high-profile DDoS attacks that have made headlines over the years. These attacks serve as stark reminders of the real-world consequences of these digital disruptions and the importance of cybersecurity. Section 6. The importance of understanding DDoS attacks. Why should you care about DDoS attacks? Well, for starters, they're becoming increasingly common. Remember that concert ticket website crash? Could have been a DDoS attack. Secondly, they can happen to anyone. It's not just big corporations or governments that are targeted. Small businesses, individuals, even online gamers can become victims. Thirdly, the consequences can be severe. Imagine your business website being down for hours or even days. You're losing customers, revenue, and your reputation is taking a hit. Understanding DDoS attacks is the first step in protecting yourself. It's like learning about a new virus. The more you know, the better equipped you are to avoid it. Section 7. Protecting yourself and your business. So, how do you protect yourself from these digital delinquents? The good news is, there are steps you can take to mitigate the risk of falling victim to a DDoS attack. Think of it as building a digital fortress around your online presence. First and foremost, you need a good defense. This means having a robust cybersecurity plan in place, including firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and anti-malware software. Think of these as your digital bodyguards, always on the lookout for suspicious activity. Next, you need a good offense. This means having a DDoS mitigation service in place. These services act like digital bouncers, filtering out malicious traffic and ensuring that only legitimate users can access your website or network. Finally, and most importantly, you need to stay informed. The world of cybersecurity is constantly evolving, and new threats are emerging all the time. Stay up to date on the latest trends and best practices to stay one step ahead of the hackers. Section 8. The future of DDoS attacks. As technology advances, so too do the methods of cybercriminals. DDoS attacks are no exception. They're becoming more sophisticated, larger in scale, and increasingly difficult to defend against. One emerging trend is the use of IoT devices in DDoS attacks. Think smart refrigerators, security cameras, even your child's Wi-Fi connected teddy bear. These devices, often with weak security, can be hijacked and used as part of a botnet to launch massive DDoS attacks. Another trend is the increasing use of extortion. Cybercriminals are now threatening to launch DDoS attacks against businesses unless they pay a ransom. It's like digital extortion, and it's becoming a serious problem. The future of DDoS attacks is uncertain. But one thing is for sure, they're not going away anytime soon. That's why it's more important than ever to be prepared and have a plan in place to protect yourself and your business. Section 9. Conclusion. Staying ahead of the curve. DDoS attacks are a real and present danger in our increasingly digital world. From disrupting businesses to crippling critical infrastructure, their impact can be devastating. But by understanding how these attacks work, the methods used, and the tools deployed, we can better equip ourselves to defend against them. Remember, knowledge is power. By staying informed about the evolving landscape of cyber threats, implementing robust security measures, and remaining vigilant, we can navigate the digital world with greater confidence and resilience. So, The next time you hear about a website going down or experience a frustratingly slow internet connection, remember DDoS attacks. They might just be the culprit lurking behind the digital curtain. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. We value your feedback. Thanks for watching and learning with us, Cyber Network.